Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Emerson, my pronouns are they, them, and in this video I'm going to be making some, I don't know, in my mind I've been calling it dark art, which it is. It's a little bit creepy, it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit different from a lot of the other art that I do, and I filmed this video right around the same time as I made my last video, which is the K-pop Demon Hunters vlog, and I mentioned this for like a half a second in that video, but I was going through some difficult things, which I'm going to talk about more in this video, but I kind of want to show like the parallels of like just the positive and the negative, how I can be making breakthroughs and doing really well, and at the same time be struggling a lot, and just, I don't know, the duality of it all. The duality of being a human. I don't know, that really fascinates me. And so I wanted to share this video right after the other one. But I'm gonna let my past self explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I will come back and talk a little bit about what was going on. So enjoy. I made this painting a few days ago. It's a self-portrait, obviously, and it really just expresses how I feel, which is tired, exhausted. And along the same theme, I'm going to keep this out as inspiration. I drew this the other morning after an incredibly disturbing dream that I had. And this is going to be the inspiration for this art that I'm going to do. And overall just expressing like my feelings and what I've been experiencing. That's the goal with all of this kind of art. Isn't that really what art is? Expressing how you feel? So let's see what I can do. Me and my 10 million projects. I don't know, I'm realizing like certain art is more for the expression and the release of emotion, and certain art is more like crafty, just for fun, for stress relief. This is more like they're both necessary, but this feels a little bit more necessary. I think for the background, that's what I want. I'm gonna do, like, what even colors did I use here? Probably like burnt sienna, like violet. These are the colors, tentatively. I might use the gray, I might switch up the red, but like definitely the violet, the yellow ochre, the dark green, burnt sienna. We also have burnt umber. Actually, I might add in some medium yellow. I don't know exactly yet. I kind of want to go with this type of a color scheme, but a little bit like darker, dirtier. Not quite sure yet. I know. I'll figure it out. So let's just start with the background, which is going to be yellow. I almost want to see what yellow and gray look like too. I feel like I'm really just blabbing, but I've been having a freaking hard time, and the reason is a good reason. It's because I'm healing. I'm healing my body, mind, and soul. And I don't just mean that like mentally and stuff. I'm sure I already would have mentioned it if I make this video, but I stopped smoking weed after smoking heavily for a long time, and the withdrawals are legit and real, and yeah, so I'm having a hard time, that's all. Physically, the main thing is I sleep really, really badly. I have really intense dreams every night. I wake up feeling exhausted, not rested. And yeah, some of the dreams have been extremely disturbing. I just want to kind of try to express that. Actually, I don't want gray. I want burnt umber. My art process will never be aesthetic or will look good. It's always going to be chaos and ridiculousness. It's always just going to be whatever I end up doing. Sometimes I make lots of plans, but it always is better when I don't. That's what we're just doing this. No plans, just do it. Well, actually, I have been thinking about doing this. Since I had the dream, I was like, I should paint that shit. And then I'm like, oh, but I don't know how to do that. And today I'm just like, no, just do it. Just do it. It doesn't need to be accurate. It just needs to be in existence. I would have liked a different brush. This is not the brush I would go for, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter either. Nothing even matters. All the stuff I think about it too much. Just make the art. Make the art in your heart. Actually, I kind of like that kind of. As the background. All right. So the rest of this is going to be in a time lapse. This is at 2x speed, and then when I start working on the details, I'll go back to regular speed, and then I'll show you the finished product. But let's talk a little bit about what was going on. As I mentioned earlier, I quit smoking weed quite suddenly, actually. I don't want to get into it too much, but I could make lots of videos about it, honestly. I could make another video about it if anyone's interested. But basically, weed just stopped working for me the way that it used to, and it came to the point where I felt like I needed to stop, like I was forced to stop, and so I did. And yeah, like any drug, even though it's not that hardcore of a drug, there is withdrawal symptoms. And yeah, something that I learned is that, and I knew one of the symptoms is that you can have intense dreams, but something that I learned recently is that when you smoke every single day, when you consume THC every day, it fucks with your REM sleep cycle. Like they're not as long and they're not as heavy, like they're very light. And so when you stop smoking, your dreams intensify, and I don't know, I think of it as like your brain kind of overcompensating for what you, like making up for what you lost while you were smoking. So yeah, I was having really heavy, intense dreams every night, basically, where I would sleep for like 2 hours at a time in the intense dreams, wake up, and then do that like 3 to 4 times a night. Basically, where, like I said earlier, where I was waking up exhausted every day. It was a struggle. But that was at like the 2-week point where I made this video, and the dreams are still more intense, but I feel like they're back to my normal vivid dreams, and the more like stressed I go to bed, the worse they are. But these really intense, heavy dreams are thankfully gone now, for the most part. This was obviously such an impactful dream that I wanted to make art from it. I've never seen visuals like this in a dream before, and it really shook me a little bit. That's why I had to make that sketch and then to make a painting of this. So sometimes in my dreams I'm me, but then sometimes I'm like a character that I'm watching like in first person as the character. And so I was this girl that she had this thing called ocular distortion, and I think that is a real thing, but it's not actually like looking like this. It's more like where your vision's blurred. I looked it up the next morning that I woke up because that's what in the dream like she told me it was. So she would see people this way, this like weird distorted, elongated, kind of like AI, like pulled apart weird version of people, and it was so scary to see it. The sketch that I do is like a scene from the dream. And yeah, I don't know, to go along with the painting of being the tired painting that I'd made, because I was really, at this point I was really frustrated with experiencing that, with being tired all the time and having these really fucked up dreams. So why not channel that into art? That's the best thing that I can find, is to channel it into art. Did I mention that these are gouache paints? Maybe if you could see the tubes. Yeah, I was painting this with gouache, which I've actually been using a lot more recently. I feel like this is also good timing to post this video just because like it's October now, Halloween, spooky season, but without being like, oh, this is a Halloween video. It's more just like, this is a scary experience that I had. But it's really satisfying to watch me paint this again. Since the sketch and this painting, I've actually developed this idea of these. Oh wait, I didn't say, I'm calling them wick people. I call this wick person number 1 because they remind me of like a candle wick that's burned out, or like a match that was lit and burned out, like kind of shriveled up and like funky, with like the weird head and like the just like blobbish body. But yeah, I've been developing it into like this idea of like my thoughts being like positive and negative, or rather like helpful and unhelpful. So you might see this kind of creature again in a little bit less of a scary look, or a little bit more of a scary look. Who knows what I could create with this mind of mine. I at least now feel so much better. Like the symptoms have mostly gone away. I still have a really bad nasal drip, which happened the last time that I took a tolerance break. But I feel a lot better. I feel more clear and less like I'm just like trying to survive, trying to get through hard moments. It's like, I don't know, life's just hard. That's just how it is. The harsh realities, the harsh realization that whether or not I smoke weed, life is still hard. But I think I'm just about done with the painting. As I said earlier, if you want to hear me talk about my experience of, consuming weed and then not anymore, let me know. I might make a video about it anyway, just because it's been a part of my life and it's really important to me in my journey or whatever. But yeah, here comes the final reveal of this freaky little dude. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought. It's art, it's a little different, but it's all, I love making any art that's like, just feels like expressing myself and like releasing something from within me into the artwork. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, I'll see you in my next. And love you. Peace.